Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Welcome to the year 2022. We're finally there. This is it. The hype train terminates here. We've got ourselves a setup. I have spent the past week tinkering with the settings. This should now be fine. For those of you wondering why the base resolution was all messed up in the last cast, that was simply because the output resolution somehow didn't match the video format. That has now been since resolved and remedied, and as a result we can witness Tiberian Dawn from 1996, I think, in glorious 4K. 4K lives in death. Alright, that's gonna be a good one. We are all set up and fully juiced up. This is going to be TDGL, has to be continued with some wire fencing going on. And yeah, the players, this is somewhat of a staple of OpenRA already, of the OpenRA viewers' diet. A very choice and conscious diet, and it is gonna be in the top left in mint green, Mr. Orb. He's gonna be squaring off against the bottom right, representing the black hand of Nod, Mr. Blackened in traditional Nod colors, maybe even a bit darker. Alright, this is gonna be awesome. We're already seeing some double wire fencing going on. Now in all due seriousness, this is a really good matchup. And both of these players have earned their laurels in both mods. Because there is no third mod, it's just like asking where Command & Conquer 4 is. It's just chrono shifted out of existence. But hey, my webcam is for the time being still not optimized. It's pointing at a random location behind me, and I haven't managed to get that NVIDIA hardware background removal thing going yet. I know that Tech Wizard has hinted at its existence. I haven't yet quite figured it out, but it's probably not going to take me longer than a week. Capital Pride, as per usual, because we're really good at keeping to deadlines here on this channel. Righty. Orb opening with the double buggy, and he's facing off against the Greed Lord build. It's a bit lucky that Orb didn't go for any semblance of rocket bikes, because that could pose a problem. As it stands for now, there is just a little scouting action going on. Triple buggy is going to find the double buggy, but they're soon going to be accompanied by a third one joining the fray. Oh. Ooh, hold fire from Orb. And as a result, this is going to be a dead even trade, I think. Yeah. Wait! Oh! So the trade favoring Blackened by the skin of his teeth. This is, yeah, this matchup is basically the Barca versus Madrid of OpenRA. He's trying to see if he can snag up an engineer on the rebound, but it's not happening. The timing, though, is going to be favoring Blackened slightly. Orb has Blackened already. Wait, what? What the hell are you talking about? Ganon just trolling in the chat here. Oh wait, he's in 4 harvesters. So maybe there's some merit to that. Nah, it's 4 harvesters. So I've been looking at the tables and standings. Ganon has played a lot of matches, but for whatever reason he managed to weasel his way into a season forfeit as well. So I'm guessing maybe he just got bored of winning. You know, it tends to happen with him. That he just randomly gets bored by things, getting distracted like a little squirrel. Finding another acorn to add to its collection, and he's been squirreling away and stashing away his tournament wins. So yeah, maybe just didn't like that one. Didn't like the particular taste of these nuts. All right, there is going to be a flame tank out for Orb, but it is scouted immediately, so it's probably going to be woefully ineffective. Ooh, let me tell you something, now that I've got the new setup, I finally managed to tackle the challenge of playing through the Remasters collection on hard. And PSA, the hard mode varies wildly in difference in difficulty between what's it called, TD and RA, because in RA, hard mode is a cakewalk. You know, it's just boils down to build a couple more things than your opponent, and you're good to go. In Tiberian Dawn, however, holy cow, I do remember the hard mode being somewhat difficult-ish. Oh wow, that was fast. Hard mode being somewhat difficult-ish in the original Tiberian Dawn. But if you've played the if you've played the Command & Conquer remasters, holy smokes, they added so much resilience and damage to those units. It's just that the stats are bang for buck. The enemy units are so much stronger on hard mode. So yeah, if you want to watch me struggle, maybe I'll upload that. That's kind of interesting. Or maybe I'll add it to some to a video project that I've been working on for a while now. Yeah. Let me just tell you, Remaster's difficulty is not a joke in Tiberian Dawn. RA is still unchanged. RA is a cakewalk. But because that just gave me the flashbacks here. Because one single flame tank, they're dedicated anti-structure in Tiberian Dawn. And in the remasters, they can basically 1v1 a mammoth tank. That's how tanky they are. So really your only option is to either get super lucky and pray for RNGs, because you can't do hit and run either. In Tiberian Dawn you've got Q move, so you can basically hit and run with your units, but that's not present in Tiberian Dawn. Sorry, in Red Alert you can do that, but it's not possible in Tiberian Dawn. So yeah, super difficult to make something happen there, and as a result, I'm still planning on winning all the missions on hard. It's just a matter of patience, and in case you don't know, there is an interesting exploit with regards to sandbags. Sandbags are the most busted structure in this mod. By far. So basically the AI does not try and attack sandbags whatsoever. Okay, that's an interesting game here. Nice kiting! He's gonna lose an Apache probably. Yep. Down goes one Apache. It's hard to call who's got the upper hand here. The assets are in Blackened's favor. And what's the production looking like? Orb is adding a second airstrip onto his production lines, whereas it looks like Blackened is just going for mass. He's also popped down a refinery and is now moving his MCV back, probably just to try and secure his flanks. He's got some really good map vision, but if we look at the general vision, I would actually say that both players have a fairly unlocked viewport of the map at the time present. Ha! Jeez. Those Apaches, huh? Oh, that's some AoE. That is some AoE here. Blackened just utilizing his infantry to their fullest potential. Again, some great hit and run coming out. Tanks are getting obliterated just a little bit, but they're still surviving for now. Oh. Blackened is finally tackling the enemy. There is a big wide front, open engagement, but almost no punch left here. Oh, that's a very lethal cluster of units, lots of rocket soldiers, and as a result, the air forces of Blackened are being decimated, as are his ground forces. And he's managed to let the MCV get away. That's a big one. Apologies, I'm still a little sick. So the reason for me not being able to upload anything for the past 6 days was just because I was sick as a dog, and that's from my kids just brought it home from kindergarten. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, MCV spearheading this attack here. This assault is not over yet. A very, very bold move from Orb. He's probably gonna be losing his MCV there. Yeah, selling it off for 135 credits. It's probably not net worth that he was looking at. Still oh, that's gonna be a good airstrike though. Ho 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 ho! The saving grace. There are still a lot of rockets in the mix, so make no mistake, this attack is far from over. As long as you manage to trade off some armor here, you're gonna be good to go. New batch of Apaches is coming in. Ooh, immediately taking out the only recon in the mix. And they're now gonna start working on the Tiberian refinery, just tickling it to death. Inch by inch, yeah. Wait, is that one firing? Yeah, it is. Counterattack, one single tank has managed to sneak its way into the backlines. Should be answered relatively easily, yeah. Ooh. He's committing for the refinery. It's still not dead. ain't over till it's over. Oh, there we go. Good hustle. Good hustle. What about the tank battle? Very riveting stuff here. Yeah, it's looking very good for Blackened. He also has his airstrike ready, so he can drop that at Orb's army at a moment's notice. Orb is in a bit of a pickle. He's lost his MCV, he's lost his mining operations, and probably stands to lose a harvester here. No. Oh god. That's not my audio settings, by the way. That's just the fact that death screams are cumulative, and the Apache longbow guns are incredibly loud in Tiberian Dawn. I don't know what the audio mixing here, what the idea behind that was, but it's blasting your eardrums away into outer space. It's just the way it is. My lord. 6 Apaches? Have you ever seen these numbers? Oops, that was an attack move. He could honestly be killing the harvester. Some of the SAM missiles connecting, but not quite. Oh, what is this? Both players going for mass SAMs. Mass M SAMs, huh? What an interesting game here. The SAM's auto-firing on the move is some of the funniest unit movement shit that I've ever seen. Maybe he's gonna pull the trigger here. One well-placed airstrike is probably gonna end this engagement. 2 Apaches down. So not the start to the fight that Blackened was hoping for. This is starting to look like it's Orb favored. All the rocket soldiers have been singled out by the Apaches, and the Apaches of Blackened have been strangely idle throughout this entire ordeal. Yeah, I don't know. That could have gone so much better. He's killed off most of the forces, but there is crucially still an MSAM in the middle, and there's also harvesting operations going on. Wait, Orb has opted for a second con yard. That was an expansion, huh? Oh, well, that's a way to spend 5k credits. Whew, where does that leave us? Economy is looking solid. He's Blackened still in the saddle, but Warp's economy hasn't suffered all that much. My goodness. Why are the Apaches allowed to do this much DPS here? They're usually not meant to go unchecked. It's not how it works. Alright, the airstrike for Orb is almost up as well. What? What about the airstrike for Blackened? It never got used. So maybe that's the time for the tier 3 transition now? I'm not too convinced. Now this is a pure tank slugfest. The rockets are lagging behind by a nautic mile. That's just the way they work in Tiberian Dawn. Yeah, okay, this is gonna spell out critical structural damage and a base push to boot. So this is gonna be very hard to defend at some point. Oh, in come the rocket soldiers. They finally made their way over. The good old Grandpa Bazooka of OpenRA is also coming in hot here. Apaches are down to 2, and there is a staggering number, a locust swarm of light tanks from Blackened, just roaming around the map, taking no prisoners, rather. This ain't Act of War. Act of War is where you get to take prisoners, right? It was a good game. Yeah, speaking of good game, Orb calling it in game 1, that was understandable. Oh, we've got the scrolling bug in 4K, that's a new one. Enjoy. Also, yeah, the lighting on my camera is kind of off, so we're gonna be working on that next. So, step by step, but I've got the intro back, I've got my Sony Vegas back, so time to do some editing. We are gonna be back with game number 2 in the series, and oh, I forgot to mention, these are the playoffs, so it's a best of 3. See you in a sec.
Battle control terminated.
And for game number 2 in glorious 4K, we are going to be finding ourselves here on African Gambit. Yeah, that's the name of the map. Correct. That's the one I've casted a couple times and I've really enjoyed and liked it. It's got the quaint little village in the middle that has the surprisingly good infrastructure of having at least 5 wells that I'm counting. Well, that's decent for a village this size. A couple of ruins here in the ravines, but that's fine. That is looking quite familiar. Ganon, why did you drop out? I'm just curious. Blackened wins now, Orb is out. Oh yeah, this is a high stakes match, huh? In the past couple tournaments, if I recall the history correctly, I think Orb has won a bit more than Blackened, and he also has is higher decorated in terms of... No, he isn't. How has he not claimed any of his badges? He was at least vice champion in some of the RAGL seasons, as far as I'm aware. That was certainly the case. I hope the bot wins. Yeah. The betting bot. Okay, both going for an airstrip opener again. Both, by the way, playing as Nod once again. And this strikes me as very fitting to both their playstyles. Orb especially popularized... I still remember the streams with him a couple years back when he just popularized the Toyota Rush in Crush, Kill and Destroy. When we playtested the shit out of that mod. That was rough. So he likes to play factions with high numbers. You know, these sort of Zerg factions where you just build up a mass of cheap early units and rush it out. It's not to say that he does that all the time, but he is known to enjoy a rush from time to time. That is an adequate way of putting it. And Blackened not walling off. Blackened is a bit more ballsy here. Right, a bit more ambitious. Ooh, Blackened going for an instant comm center. Okay. This may be a light tank rush. He's a bit easy to defend as Nod though, because you've got access to your bikes straight from the get-go, and they're pretty good. Whereas as GDI, you get access to APCs, and they don't do shit against tanks. I mean, they can be annoying. They can poke you with their flak pellets, but they don't really harm any armored units. Used to be the case, by the way, if you remember the APC meta back before the nerf. Oh, that was something different. That was when I think Ganon was the one who found out that the APC was completely overtuned stat-wise. That was a couple moons ago. Yeah, it is a light tank rush indeed. Hello, good sir. Orb is playing nicely around it though, not losing any of his buggies willy-nilly. Tank leading the charge, and this is gonna prompt it's gonna prompt a Hand of Nod out of Orb. There are still a couple seconds of vulnerability. Oh yeah. Out comes the Hand of Nod, and that's gonna be the first Zuka soldiers, and ultimately nothing of consequence will be happening here. Oh, crush. Gets a good crush here. And by the way, this is surprisingly cost efficient. Ooh. Ah, doesn't get it. If you manage to trade a recon bike and a rocket soldier for a tank that is in favor of the tank owner, tank costs I think 600, whereas a bike is 500 and a rocket soldier is 300. Well, we can double check that, right? As soon as they are building something along those lines. I'm fairly certain of those price ranges though. Used to play the game myself a couple moons ago. Right, more tanks being added here. Double war factories already on the way for Orb. 500 for the recon, yeah. So was correct on that assessment. And now we want to see a tank being built, please. Blackened, can you please indulge us? He's going to be behind with his second airstrip. Just something to keep in mind. Blackened is walling off here as well with a concrete barrier. Does he have any plans? Or is he... Oh, he's just trying to wall off the comm center, right? That must be it. Yeah, just walling off here so you don't get any flanks. Oh, 750 for the light tank. Okay, so it got a price increase at some point. Yeah, it's still a net positive trade. If you manage to crush one rocket soldier, kill one recon, you've killed 800. You've also inflicted some AoE damage as well. So back to the remasters while everything is setting up. Those of you who have played the Origins a lot will remember Q moving from Red Alert. This is what makes the game simultaneously hilarious and also terrible in multiplayer. Because at high levels, if you've seen pro matches, it basically turns Command and Conquer at a high level into an auto clicker where you where you just spam click your tanks. You build nothing but tanks, and the challenge is to satisfy the macroeconomic incentives of this game by building as many tanks as you can, which is fairly easy in the remaster because you can queue up to 99 units, just like in OpenRA. Didn't used to be the case in the originals. And while simultaneously commanding your army in such a way that they're always moving while they're firing. And if someone goes toe-to-toe and just stands there and lets his tanks tank and do the damage, they lose. If you don't move your units, you lose. It's kind of a strange game in that regard. But at a young age, it taught me how to micro. How to spam click and crank up the APM. There is again an Apache longbow out for war. No anti-air here whatsoever. So this is gonna immediately prompt the fallback. And probably a transition into MSAMs. No critical mass just yet here. One thing you have to keep in mind that Blackened is very much ahead in the airstrike timing. So if he gets a good angle there, it's lights out. Ooh. Yeah. Apache gets some free picks here. Not too bad. In comes the army. Still no MSAM. Man! The Apache has already inflicted some damage here. And we're seeing some flamers being added. Hey! That's a new one. Is that forces overwhelming already? It certainly feels like it. This just feels like there is no recourse. Jeez Louise, and the airstrike is whiffing! Yeah, that's been a whiff and a half. That's not been good. Ooh, this might be snowballing. Yeah, Blackened is in a bit of a pickle here. He is in peril, has overcommitted, and did not bring his MSAM. Oh god, those tanks are wounded. In the words of Douglas Adams, he is not a man who knows where his MSAMs are. Not a man who knows where his towel is. Oh yeah, he's building a repair facility. I like that general sentiment. Oh, the airstrip is still alive somehow. Oh yeah, it went down at the last possible second. Ooh, this is nasty. This tank shooting while repairing, that's some skills. Repair facility being tackled, huh? The tanks are trickling in one by one. This is getting from bad to worse for Blackened. He's finally managing to push back, even if just a little. It's fairly even at the end of the day. The combat tab is favoring Warp, and consequently the asset tab is gonna speak a story of its own. It's gonna tell a tale that is not gonna be one that Blackened is willing to listen to. Yeah. Jeez. Spec chat. Jeez, chill. Someone is disconnected. Is that a GG? It appears to be the case. That must have been a surrender. 9-minute surrender. Right? Was that a GG or is that... Huh. Okay, warp dropped for some reason. Okay. I don't know how to... what the judgment was on that one. We'll have to look it up in game number 3. I actually haven't pre-watched any of this. I never do. Because I always want to be surprising myself. And certainly did this time around. So, see you in game number 2.5? Alright.
Battle control terminated.
Alright, and for game number 2.5 we're finding ourselves on convoluted clusterfuck the map. Look at this shit. This is just like someone has taken a checkerboard and randomly just dropped some objects. Dropped some objects on it. It's a bit of a hot mess. But at the same rate, nice clips. This looks so close, so convoluted. And there is barely any room to maneuver. I don't know if this map actually plays nicely, because the pathfinding algorithm of OpenRA is, well, it's a pathfinding algorithm. If you know anything about them, they're extremely complex to program. That was also, oh god, all in. That was also something that the remasters Council mentioned that pathfinding algorithms is one of the hardest things to get right. Oh god! And one of the things that makes it really, really difficult to build great RTS in this day and age. Okay, so far he has only revealed 2 of the minigunners. This could be absolutely stellar. This could hit really hard. Orb is not gonna know what hit him there. Ah, he's got the Chi Tower. Some AoE blasting has been done already. But I feel like this is far from over. He hasn't noticed anything here yet. This is, for all intents and purposes, for all that Orb knows, this has been 5 minigunners. This was an absolutely stellar covert operation here. Damn! Solid. Wait, he actually transitioned into a Tiberian refinery. He managed to sell off his triple barracks. And somehow this hasn't been noticed. Good lord. Yeah, Orb knows what's happening here. Hello, good sir. What about the harvester here? Ooh. A lot of AoE coming through. Well, this has so far failed spectacularly. He's trying to inch closer. Haha, Orb has stopped his harvester as well. What a mess. What a mess in this game. Yeah, 2 Humvees and a couple of rifles. I think that's already enough to hold. But Orb is not earning any money. He's broke. Selling off some of his buildings there. Triple Humvee. This should be enough to clean up for all intents and purposes, but really nice from Blackened to hide his own, hide his rockets behind the enemy units, behind his own units. Basically a literal meat shield here. The Kung Fu meat shield. Look at the Kung Fu guard here. Oh! Jackie Chan Palace guard. I like that. Oh, that's so smart from Orb. He's using the MCV2 tank to waltz all over the army. Little to no losses taken. Brilliant. That was thinking on the feet for Orb. Really smart. I still don't know what the judgment was on game number 2, by the way. Let me see. Let's decide the game here in game 3. So, Blackened has conceded game number 2, I guess. It wasn't over, but I guess that was sportsmanship. Okay, cool. So at the end of the day, we are going to be finding ourselves at a 1-1. And Blackened somehow has managed to transition back into a semi-regular build. Albeit with 2 harvesters, so he is far, far behind. Ooh. It's looking a bit bleak for him. He has been building a comm center. That was going from cheese to... Ooh. Going from cheese to something, to bankrolling your savings account, your Roth IRA. I don't know if that's a good call. This is gonna leave him high and dry for a long time. He is gonna be, he's gonna be basically supply blocked for until Kingdom Come. By supply blocked, I mean economically constrained to the point where he can afford 1 single medium tank. I don't know, my friend. And Orb also has a medium tank out, so it's GG from here. This feels rigged. I mean, this was a build order fail. Orb nicely defended against this. I think he may have seen the triple barracks with a scout earlier. I'll have to check. We built main battle tanks on 3 miners. Yeah, he's seemingly out of options. Teching back, I don't think he should have gone on the aggression. He should have gone on the for hard eco. You know, just supplement with defensive infantry. Infantry are really good at defending, not at aggressing, but defense is insane. Ooh, maybe he's gonna get a tank here. Harvester is what those things are called. There's a grin. Orcas. Yeah. Orb is going full out GDI here. I dig. Nice. AI set on Rush. Pretty much. Rush Grenadier AI. Yeah. They haven't built a radar dome after the first harvester though. So it feels like this AI isn't working properly in OpenRA terms. I love those grins. The grenades they love, it sounds so satisfying. And here they've got decent range, unlike in the remasters, where they basically can throw half a meter away from their feet. Where the grenades are... I don't know, the grenades are more like medicine balls. You can toss them no farther than half a meter. Okay. Humvees and tanks. Problem is, there's a really good solution to that out from Orb. The Orcas are gonna be able to wreak havoc. Harvesters is regenerated to half health, and Orb is taking the middle. It's looking absolutely good for him. The hospital. Man. I mean, I'd go to the hospital if I were living on this map, because I would be getting eye cancer, so there's that. But some nades being lobbed. Those are custom spreads, by the way, right? The projectiles. I don't think they look like this in the original. Maybe they did and I just didn't remember. Humvees running through the rocket soldiers. But now come the Orcas, it's their time to shine. No anti-air here. Blasting away from all fire ports. Oh, what an Orca timing. 3 Orcas just immediately obliterating the tanks. Is there anything left to do for Blackened? What does he have? He's 9k behind. That is significant. He's ahead in the airstrike timing, so there's something here. And the Orcas look so cool. I love the way they move. Yeah, that's a dead harvester. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, that was a full harvester too. Man, the Orcas are allowed to wreak havoc in the eco lines. There is a massive tank force knocking at the door. This is gonna be the knockout punch, yeah. Ganem disconnecting, you know, it's about time. Oh, selling off. I don't know what the plan here is. There certainly ain't no comeback. He's trying for a counterattack, but there's just so much stuff left. You know, this doesn't look like it's salvageable. Okay, he's managed to procure... Oh, one single advanced guard tower, but that thing ain't gonna be shooting anywhere without... yeah. Without the power. And just art mimicking real life. We've got ourselves a power crisis here. Now the APCs arrive. They are no longer as busted as they used to be, so I doubt they're going to be able to hold the line. That's GG. Spelled out here for you. What a great game between those two. What a great series. Unfortunate end, in a way. But hey, sometimes that's just how it happens. We're going to be covering more TDGL. This was the first leg of the quarterfinals of the playoffs. There's more to come because there is a lot more quarterfinals to cover, and after that it's the semis into silver and bronze. Alright, sorry, I just somehow unplugged my headphones, because they now go into my monitor. I have to get used to my setup. Oh, this is awkward. Alright, if you're hearing some sound twice now, that's because they're unplugged. Okay, more 4K casts incoming. I'm stoked. I couldn't be more happy about my setup. Now all I need is a proper router, and then we're good to go. And we're also going to be streaming or casting some company viewers too, as well as at least some Warcraft 3. Thanks for watching, and stay hyped for more OpenRA as well. Shadow Paradise around the corner. 5 aces out.
Battle control terminated.